Also coming out today, some more news. New government numbers came out this morning showing the number of people filing for unemployment benefits fell slightly last week, down 3,000 to 382,000, but that was well above the 375,000 estimate for what's ahead in the labor market. We welcome Rob Basso, president of Advantage Payroll Services. What do you make of these numbers? You have clients that are hiring, but they're not hiring en masse right now, Rob. Why?
Well, first off, if you look at my client base, our average client only moved up a half of a person, which is, statistically impossible, so only moved up 5%. The reality is they're not hiring. They're hiring more part-time people than full-time, and I think part of the reason is not just the lack of demand, but the onslaught of new regulations. Think about it. You're a small business owner running your mom and pop shop, 15, 20, 50 employees, and all of a sudden you have to conform to this new regulation, which takes time, energy, and resources, and it takes you away from your core competencies.
Do you find, you mentioned demand, you mentioned the economic picture. Besides regulation, what about corporate taxes? How concerned are your clients about tax structure for 2013?
They're very concerned. What I talk to my clients about is what their plans are, and they're telling me they're being cautiously optimistic about what's going to happen in the election, but they can't make big decisions in their company if they don't realize what is going to be, and we all don't know, and we're literally, that part of uncertainty is creating challenges for small business owners, and it's slowing growth, plain and simple.
One of the things that we are seeing, though, is that it's very skills specific. If you're a nurse right now, if you're an engineer right now, if you can do any type of data management, storage, you can find a job. There's a shortage of talent. Why do we have this huge disconnect? What do you think's going on?
I think it's a matter of training, and really the market was not prepared for the need for these services. Let's take the medical field. We have clients that are in the medical staffing business. They have to import nurses from out of state to service New York State hospitals. North Shore, LIJ, is putting on 200 people a month, but they can't find the technical positions to hire. It's a matter of training and not the America not being ready for the type of economy that we're getting into.
Who do we blame? Do we blame the education system? Do we blame, I mean, you know what I mean? It's a bigger question, I realize, but I feel like you're the right person to ask.
Well, I think there's a big disconnect in between what this country wants to be and the uncertainty of what it is right now. And I think that comes back to who we elect as president. It comes back to our education. It comes back to our taxing. It comes back to what type of help are we going to get as entrepreneurs and business people to move the ball forward. My opinion is we're not getting the help and resources we need right now.
What about services, the services industry? What about manufacturing? There's still been pressure on manufacturing jobs, just a little bit of an uptick over the last few weeks. And then as far as the services industry, that sometimes is the bright spot when we get that monthly jobs report.
Well, if you look at the services industry, let's look at hospitality for a minute. Last month, they added about 28,000 jobs. Really good. Now, it's food service business. It's not necessarily the most highly paid individual, but the reality is the bar is moving a little bit forward. On the technical side, if we had the training and the resources available to individuals looking to increase their skills, I know that there's government programs. I know that there's local businesses trying to do the right thing, but it just seems to be misguided. It's really tough.
I got to go back to that word uncertainty with you for U.S. businesses, and this is large and small, and I know that you deal with the entire gamut here.
Yeah.
How many times do you hear from a corporate CEO, a small business owner, the word uncertainty?
Every hour of every day. I am very communicative with my clients, and there's not a day that goes by that's the biggest focus right now, that lack of clarity, the lack of who's going to be president. It doesn't matter which side of the fence that you sit on, Republican or Democrat, they're concerned, and they're not making decisions to move their businesses forward. It's that simple.
Rob Basso, thank you very much, Rob. It's good to have you on the show
Thanks,
again.
Cheryl.
Appreciate it.